Hello, so today I'm going to show you some steps on working with Google Forms. You can get to Google Forms through a few different ways of doing it. One is you can go ahead and in your Drive, click on New, and then you'll see Forms comes up. And you can either do a blank form or from template. So that's one way to do it. The other way is over here on what we call the waffle. You can click on that and scroll down through until you hit Forms, which is right there on mine. Different from group to group. So I'm going to pull up Forms. And when you access it from the waffle, it's going to bring up all the forms you've made. When you go from Drive and just select New Form, it will bring you right to a new form. So I'm going to start with a blank form. And as that loads up, my computer's being a little slow today. That's okay. I'm going to give this guy a title. So since ultimately we are going to be using the forms to create certificates for recognitions, I'm going to go ahead and call my survey that. So you can go through and put a description of what's going on. So I just put this is to collect information to generate certificates. And you'll see that it says that the form automatically collects addresses from school district users. So we can go into here and change settings, and it gives us a lot of options. So if I want to have this only open to people that are students or staff members, I can keep it to just the Marysville School District. If I was going to be asking something from parents or other community members, I go ahead and unclick that. But we want to, since this is for in-school only, we want to just keep it to that. And then you can give them options, like if we were voting on something, you want to limit them to one response, or you can also add things like being able to edit their work or not. So we're going to collect the email addresses, and if they want a response, they can get one. Okay. And now how this works. So when you look at these guys, you start off with your certificate, and the way that I generally end up generating them is I want to know who it is that's filling it out. And a lot of times I will have them do their first name and their last name separately, because it's something that I'm doing for school and need to sort it out. So doing it all by just name, some people go first, some people go last, and it makes it really difficult to get alphabetical order. So I generally go your first name, and it automatically tells it to make that a short answer because that's what you want. And now make another one. Your last name, also going to be required. So everything that we want to have them that they have to answer to submit something, make it required. So we've got the name of who's doing this, and then we'll also ask for we're getting ready to do a recognition assembly. And so we want to be able to recognize people. You'll see this form is just using short answers. You don't really have to always add a lot to these guys. There we go. So you ask who's being recognized and what for. And I can spell. There we go. And a short answer. So you can see actually on forms, the forms themselves are very powerful. I have another series on using forms to generate quizzes and such that I will point you to from this series that we're working on. But they have all these different ways of doing things. You can be a short answer, it could be a long answer, which would be a paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, drop downs, multiple choice grid, linear scales, checkbox grid. So it makes you have a lot of different ways of doing things. Multiple choice is basically the A, B, or C, and checkboxes would be the ability to choose more than one item. But as I said before, we really only need these short guides. Okay, so now we have our questions, and we can take a look at what this will preview like. And so this is what it looks like so far. So I can come through and answer the questions. Yeah. So now I have all of these things filled out. Yay. I've done a set. And we'll be able to see that on our original document. There we go. Gives me the option to submit another thing. But when we look at this again, I'm going to click submit another, just so we can look at it again. You'll notice that this is really kind of boring. So one of the tools that you have up top, there are add-ons that you can add, but we're not going to mess with that right now. But this little palette is to customize. So you can either choose an image from images that you have, from images that they have, and they have many, and they're broken out over many things, or you can upload something, or you can use a photo from your photo album. So for the fun of it, I'm going to use my classroom. There, we'll make that our theme. And now what it's going to do is it is going to change our theme based on what's in that picture. So these were the main colors that they got out of that picture. And so you can decide what you think goes best with all of this. I actually kind of like that blue, so I'm going to do that. Okay. So you now have a form that will look, when we come over here and refresh it, like that. Still kind of boring, but a little prettier, more personalized. Okay, so people fill it out, and you need to make sure that you give them the view form version. So when you create this, you do not copy the edit version. This is your master document. If you send out the edit version, other people can change it, and you don't want them to do that. So you can choose send, or I normally click on the preview like I did to show you, and then I copy the email, the URL from there, and send that out. But when you get responses in, it looks like this. So we can see my responses. If you have something that is a kind of a poll version, it'll start generating graphs for you so you can see what's going on. And this is very useful. To end this part of the video, I'm going to show you the last part that we need to see. You can create, and you can either look at the responses here, or you can have it go off into a spreadsheet. And so we will create a spreadsheet that is going to show us all of those responses across here. Okay, so now there's a spreadsheet, and it gives you all of your answers in one spot. And in the next video, I will show you what to do with that. So for now, I will say goodbye. See you in the next video.